Next is Lifetime Achievement. Yes, sir? Correct? Okay. For the category of Lifetime Achievement, the nominees are from the Florida Highway Patrol, Corporal Pamela Wyatt. From the Jupiter Inlet Colony Police Department, Captain Dale Allen. From the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, Communications Supervisor Heidi Grobe. From the Palm Beach Gardens Police Department, Officers Avram Tawil and Ellen Lovejoy. From the Port St. Lucie Police Department, Officer Michael Colton. From the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office, Major David Thompson. And from the Indian River Shores Department of Public Safety, Lieutenant Tony Dudley. A round of applause for all the nominees. For the category of Lifetime Achievement, we have co-honorees this year. From the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office, Major David Thompson, and from the Jupiter Inlet Colony Police Department, Captain Dale Allen. As you both make your way forward, I'll begin with Major David Thompson. Major David Thompson has accomplished a lifetime of achievements with one focus in mind: service to others. Service to country and community best describes St. Lucie County Sheriff Major David Thompson, who began his career in the United States Marine Corps. After his military service, he shifted his focus to serving his community through law enforcement. After 32 years in the profession, the majority with St. Lucie County, Major Thompson will retire in July as Director of Law Enforcement. A loss for all of us, for sure. It goes on, yes indeed. Major Thompson has worked in almost every capacity: patrol, investigations, narcotics, vice, school resource, civil, court, security, and training as well. He's seen trends come and go. He has watched the profession evolve and committed himself to ensure that St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office evolved to meet the ever-present demand of protecting the life and property of its citizens. Some of his most notable accomplishments include supervising the Escobedo murder case, where a family was found murdered on the turnpike. I don't know how you get through that and come out the other side. Overseeing security enhancements to the St. Lucie County Courthouse after back-to-back hurricanes, guiding funeral arrangements and response after the death of Sergeant Gary Morales, also painful, spearheading a SWAT medic program between his agency and St. Lucie, fire rescue, managing the September 16th hate crime arson at a local mosque, and serving as the agency's emergency manager for large-scale events. All of this while accomplishing his daily responsibilities in progressive leadership roles. His service extends beyond the badge. He also served with distinction as an Indian River State College adjunct instructor in criminal justice and public administration, an FBI National Academy alumnus, a board member of Safe Space of the Treasure Coast. That's a domestic violence shelter for women and children. Beautiful. And, of course, the first Senate-confirmed law enforcement member of the Florida Department of Education's Education Practices Commission. It's a quasi-judicial arm of DOE. It imposes sanctions for educator misconduct. During this appointment, he served 2 four-year terms, eventually becoming the commission's chair, and is now its first emeritus member. Major David Thompson has accomplished a lifetime of achievements with one focus in mind: service to others.
And even some of that's true. But listen, I'm very humbled to stand here as you start to walk out the door. But when you can come to work every day and have a wonderful family, a wonderful boss, and work alongside some of the best people at the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office, it's very easy. So other than that, I'm humbled that everyone here, I'm proud to be here amongst you. I'm always comfortable when I'm amongst the men and women of law enforcement. So thank you very much. And Sheriff, thank you. Have a wonderful day.
So the second, or co-honoree, for the Lifetime Achievement Award is Captain Dale Allen of the Jupiter Inlet Colony Police Department. A bit about him. Captain Allen began his 43-plus year career at the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office in 1974. Early in his career, Captain Allen received commendations for consistently putting forth extraordinary effort in lifting latent prints to develop suspects for felony cases. That was back in the day. That must have been really tough to do when technology is certainly not what it is today. In October of 1981, Captain Allen was honored for investigative excellence in developing early information, which resulted in saving the life of a young kidnapping victim, actually. In 1982, Captain Allen was recognized for investigative excellence while assigned to the Organized Crime Bureau and his outstanding contribution efforts in fighting organized crime. Listen to this. Captain Allen was instrumental in a reverse sting operation, which resulted in seizing over $1.5 million in cash, arresting more than 75 individuals for trafficking in and conspiracy to traffic in dangerous drugs, and in seizing over 25 motor vehicles. In subsequent investigations, Captain Allen's efforts resulted in seizing an additional $244,000, 5 vehicles, and arresting 15 more individuals. In 1985, Captain Allen participated in the investigative team that arrested 10 people as a result of a 2-month-long investigation that shut down an international drug smuggling operation touted as the largest cocaine seizure in Palm Beach County history. A ton of cocaine, worth about $200 million, was confiscated in that one. Captain Allen worked this investigation in cooperation with federal agencies. In 1991, Captain Allen participated in the investigative team that brought Claude Avenpender, the godfather, did I say his name right? Avenpender, yes, okay, the godfather of a huge Palm Beach County family so entrenched in Florida and Bahamian soil that it took years to uproot their drug empire. The team of investigators dubbed Pender Task Force, including Captain Allen, worked for more than 5 years to dismantle the family tree of more than a dozen members who were all convicted of drug-related offenses. Captain Allen retired from the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office in 2004 and then served as a Sheriff's Office Auxiliary Deputy through 2010. He joined the Jupiter Inlet Colony Police Department as a part-time police officer in 2012 and was later promoted, because you can't retire. You're not going to let somebody like this retire. Later promoted up the chain to captain. Captain Allen serves mainly in an administrative capacity and coordinates department training, reporting statistics, and other duties. Captain Allen also serves as the department's background investigator and is the right hand of the Chief of Police. Captain Allen has meritoriously served the citizens of Palm Beach County, Florida for 43 years. This nomination includes just a couple of highlights of his career, and he has received many commendations and awards other than these we have mentioned. He has always been highly respected by defense attorneys as well as prosecutors for his high level of professionalism in all of his case prosecutions. Captain Dale Allen is the co-honoree for the ASIS Lifetime Achievement Award.
For those of you that really know me out there, keep your mouth shut. Talking about you, Rick. I want to take a second to thank Frank and his team. They just do an unbelievable job every year. And thinking about these awards, I can't remember anything in my generation that's been this great for law enforcement. Thank you so much, Frank. I want to thank a good friend of mine, Chief John Pruitt. He's the best thing that's ever happened to the little city of Jupiter Inlet Colony. Dr. Dan Cumberford, our mayor. Every city should have a mayor like him. And for my wife, she's always been my reason to get up in the morning. She's always been the voice of reason that I need to listen to more often. And thank you so much for everybody here for doing such a great job. Everybody stay safe.
Next, the category of Detective Investigator of the Year. And the nominees are, from the Boca Raton Police Department, Detective Michael Lamia. From the Boynton Beach Police Department, Detectives Ray Lager and Brent Joseph. From the Drug Enforcement Administration, the DEA, Agent Roger Kernicki. From the Delray Beach Police Department, Agent Matthew Saracini. From the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, Detectives Sean Vance, Aaron Giannotti, John Chapman, William Badala. From the Palm Beach Gardens Police Department, Detective Jennifer Brashear. From the Riviera Beach Police Department, Detectives Brooke Weiner and Ozell Prieto. From the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office, Detective James Jennings. And from the West Palm Beach Police Department, Detective Kathy Cognetti. A round of applause for all of our nominees. The honoree for the category of Detective Investigator of the Year is Detective Aaron Giannotti from the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. Detective Giannotti has successfully achieved many outstanding accomplishments as a detective within the Financial Crimes Unit at the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. Detective Giannotti conducted several high-profile financial crime investigations that resulted in convictions and lengthy prison sentences. One example is the investigation of a massive identity theft tax refund fraud scheme, which led to the arrest and conviction of several criminals. The organizer of the scheme was sentenced to 16 years in prison. Good. And several co-conspirators, sorry, can you tell I've been a victim? All right, 16 years in prison and several co-conspirators were sentenced to more than a decade behind bars for their role in the multi-million-dollar scheme that involved filing false tax returns. Detective Giannotti also successfully investigated an incredibly complex case in which a man forged quitclaim deeds to several properties that he did not own. In yet another case, Detective Giannotti investigated a real estate investor. Nice guy. He cheated a family member out of more than $750,000. Both suspects in these cases were arrested and they are awaiting trial on numerous felony charges. The passion that Detective Giannotti has to serve her community goes far beyond her assignment as a detective. After identifying a trend of senior citizens being preyed upon and exploited by home caregivers, Detective Giannotti was instrumental in writing and creating the new Home Caregiver Ordinance. This is great. It went into effect in April of 2016, and basically this county ordinance requires home caregivers now operating anywhere in Palm Beach County, including all municipalities. We need to get the word out and let people know this is on the books now, to be licensed. I think we've done a few things, so we got to keep hitting it. The ordinance will greatly reduce incidents where our most vulnerable adults are financially exploited by home caregivers. In addition to serving her teammates as a coach and mentor, Detective Giannotti also volunteers time by serving as the president of the Palm Beach Economics Crime Unit, a position she's held for 2 years. This is a multi-jurisdictional effort. It consists of federal, state, county, and local law enforcement. They work side by side with private sector financial institutions. And together, this group shares information to identify current trends in financial crimes. Detective Giannotti's professionalism, dedication, and passion to serve the citizens of Palm Beach County go far beyond the job description of a financial crimes detective. Her commitment to the community reflects great credit upon herself and the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. Detective Aaron Giannotti is the Investigator of the Year.
Wow, thank you so very much. I work with such an amazing group of men and women and have for so many years. I feel very honored to be a part of the Sheriff's Office, especially to be part of the Financial Crimes Unit. I work for an amazing supervisor and a fabulous group of detectives. I can't thank you enough. This is quite an honor. I'm very humble. Thank you. Thank you.
For the category of Emergency Communications Operator of the Year, the nominees are, from the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, Duty Officer Brienne Munez. From the Palm Beach Gardens Police Department, EOC Supervisor Charlie Lawrence. And from the West Palm Beach Police Department, Emergency Communications Operator Elizabeth Mackey. A round of applause for our nominees. And the Communications Operator of the Year this year is ECO Elizabeth Mackey from the West Palm Beach Police Department. Emergency Communications Operator Elizabeth Mackey was training a colleague when a call from the Boca Raton Police advised that one of their undercover officers had followed a stolen rental vehicle to a drive-through restaurant. ECO Mackey became the primary dispatcher on call that day and immediately provided her trainee with guidance and training while maintaining excellence on that call. Officers formed a perimeter and began to approach the vehicle when one officer reported that shots were fired. In the ensuing moments, rather than allowing the incident to become chaotic, ECO Mackey dispatched additional officers to the scene, communicated descriptions of the fleeing suspects, and coordinated communications while one officer was in foot pursuit of one of the suspects. Throughout this really high-stress incident, ECO Mackey maintained a calm and professional demeanor both in the communications room and on the radio. ECO Mackey conveyed a sense of calm to both the officers in the field and the communications staff. ECO Mackey coordinated and provided information to responding units while also maintaining contact with the units involved in the incident. She also coordinated medics to the scene to aid the wounded officer. As if that were not enough, ECO Mackey was also coordinating helicopter support and providing the last known location for the officer involved in the foot pursuit of one of those suspects. Remember him? ECO Mackey maintained, yeah, a lot going on, right? Wow, ECO Mackey maintained radio discipline. That's every day, isn't it, though? Right? This is like crazy what you guys go through. ECO Mackey maintained radio discipline, keeping the channel open for only necessary communications, knowing that one officer needed medical assistance while another officer was in foot pursuit with a potentially armed and dangerous suspect. The seriousness of this incident was truly a matter of life and death. ECO Mackey's experience, her ability to anticipate the needs of the responders while providing an opportunity for her trainee to learn by example, really exemplifies professionalism. Elizabeth Mackey is the Emergency Communications Operator of this year.
Thank you very much. I'm shocked that I'm up here. It sounded pretty impressive what she was saying, but it was a huge team effort from everybody that was working that day. But thank you. I'm honored to be here, and thank you for the award.
Next is the Life Saving Award category. For the category of the Life Saving Award, the nominees are from the Florida Highway Patrol, Trooper Gene Amy. From the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office, Sergeant John Perro and Deputy Edward Lopez. From the West Palm Beach Police Department, Lieutenant Richard Dunleavy. Officers Nicole Abreu, Sarah Burgoon, Matthew Cafaro, Cavell Paget, and Garrett Sheary. An applause for all the nominees. The honoree for the category of life saving this year, Trooper Gene Amy from the Florida Highway Patrol. On Monday, March 20th, 2017, at approximately 11:20 in the morning, Trooper Gene Amy was dispatched to a vehicle crash on I-95 right near Glades Road. Upon arrival, Trooper Amy discovered a single vehicle on the shoulder against the guardrail, actually. Trooper Amy approached the driver's side window, observed the driver slumped over into the center console. The vehicle was running with the gear shift in reverse, and the driver's foot was on the brake pedal. Trooper Amy knocked on the window in an attempt to awaken the driver. Trooper Amy received no response, but the driver appeared to be gasping for air. Trooper Amy contacted the Lake Worth Regional Communications Center and then proceeded to the passenger side of the vehicle. Trooper Amy broke out the front passenger window, unlocked the doors, and placed the vehicle into park. The driver was not breathing, so Trooper Amy removed the driver from the vehicle and began CPR right away. The driver regained consciousness just as emergency responders arrived. Paramedics advised that the driver was overdosing, and they treated the driver for the overdose and stabilized him for transport. Trooper Amy's quick action and assistance contributed to a life-saving effort for sure, may have created one. Trooper Amy exemplifies the spirit of the Florida Highway Patrol by giving of himself without thought of his own personal safety. Trooper Gene Amy is the Life Saving Award nominee this year.
I didn't expect this. I didn't do it for this. I just acted because I was a human being in need of help, and I just did it. Just want to say thank you to my captain. Just thank you. That's it.
I told you, these stories are really fun to tell. So excited. Aren't you having fun at home? If you're watching online, you never get to hear this stuff. All right. For the category of Supervisor Manager of the Year, the nominees are from the Florida Highway Patrol, Sergeants Michael Lanham, Sergeant Raymond Sturer, Captain Kevin Strickland. From the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, Sergeants Richard Raish and Brooke Thomas. Once again, when you hear your names, please stand. From the Palm Beach from the Palm Beach Police Department, Lead Communications Supervisor Christine Cunningham. From the Port St. Lucie Police Department, Sergeant Richard Schichtel. From the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office, Sergeant Suzanne Woodward. A round of applause for all the nominees. And the honoree for the category of Supervisor Manager of the Year is Supervisor Christine Cunningham from the Palm Beach Police Department. Lead Communications Supervisor Christine Cunningham has always maintained a high level of performance. Her dedication to Palm Beach, the police department, and her coworkers is exemplary. She's taken on a lot of projects and has made measurable improvements to her unit and the department. She manages costs effectively. She handles details personally, and she demonstrates advanced skills in the communications field. She's established trust with coworkers and delegates appropriately. One of the most notable accomplishments was recognizing that the communications unit equipment was becoming outdated and in need of overhaul with updated technology. As a result, Supervisor Cunningham successfully planned and coordinated a complete renovation of the department's communications center, including implementing a communications backup center at the EOC. That's great. She is also responsible for the Palm Beach's Direct Connect setup and maintenance as well. Another example of her leadership was her response to Orlando regarding that high-profile Pulse nightclub active shooting incident. Supervisor Cunningham is the team administrator and a certified International Critical Incident Stress Foundation instructor for the Palm Beach County Critical Incident Stress Management Team. She responded with her team to Orlando to debrief members of the Orlando Police Department, Orange County Sheriff's Office, FDLE, and the FBI who were directly involved in that shooting incident. This response by PBCISM received well-deserved national media attention. Supervisor Cunningham consistently shows that she has the ability to balance her job, her education, and many involvements as well. With all that she does, her quality of service to the Palm Beach Police Department, Fire Department, and the town in general always remains impeccably high. Christine Cunningham is the Supervisor Manager of the Year.
Thank you so much. I am honored to be in the room with all of you. I have probably spoken or taught some of you in my career here, and so thank you for this wonderful honor. I'd like to thank my husband and my son Jackson, as well as all my friends that continue to support me, and the Town of Palm Beach Police Department. And this is dedicated to my father, who was a law enforcement officer for 25 years at the Town of Palm Beach and was diagnosed with cancer. And so I will continue to honor him in the Town of Palm Beach. Thank you.
Police Officer Deputy of the Year is next, right? For the category of Police Officer Deputy of the Year, the nominees are from the Boca Raton Police Department, Officer Dean Coviello. From the Boynton Beach Police Department, Officers Nicole Loshelder and Jervis Daly, also from the Boynton Beach Police Department. From the Jupiter Police Department, Officer Brian Panzak. From the Martin County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Matthew Fritchie. From the North Palm Beach, the North Palm Beach Police Department, Officer Edward Czak. From the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, Deputies Mark Kramer and Larry Nielsen II. From the Palm Beach Gardens Police Department, Sergeant Robert Boshin. And from the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Brian Saliba. A round of applause for our nominees. And the honoree for the category of Police Officer Deputy of the Year is Officer Nicole Loshelder from the Boynton Beach Police Department. As Officer Loshelder and her chief make their way to the podium here, take a look at this quick video.
To protect and serve. It's not just a motto for Officer Nicole Loshelder, it's a lifestyle.
I did my first ride-along when I was in college, and I was hooked. They were like, all right, it's time for you to go home, and I was like, I don't want to go home. This is something that I love.
5 years in, Officer Loshelder still loves the spontaneity of the job.
Every day is not the same thing. Every day you're going to experience something different. You're going to have different challenges, and you're going to meet different people.
She saved 2 people this year, including a man she helped pull back from the brink of disaster.
He was actually on the I-95 overpass at Boynton Beach Boulevard, about ready to jump. And finally, we decided just to grab him as quickly as we could, all 3 of us, to make sure he didn't fall over when he was about to jump, and we were successful.
But she's more than just a beat cop. Officer Loshelder, a self-professed animal lover, works with the nonprofit Pets for Vets, which provides a companion for veterans suffering from PTSD. On her own time, she made a point to visit a 63-year-old robbery victim.
I went with her to just various locations and helped her get those things that she needed.
The woman so appreciative that she wrote a thank you letter to the police department accompanied by a $1,000 check. The very humble Officer Loshelder says her job is about protecting and serving.
All the other people that we've worked together along the way and have helped me get where I am, I want to do the same for them.
Service above self is what Officer Loshelder is all about.
But wait, there's more. Throughout the year, Officer Loshelder has received numerous accolades and commendations. Some highlights, just a few more, include assisting detectives with several sexual battery cases where she immediately made the victims feel at ease and assisted them through the whole process. A letter of commendation for animal control for handling an animal case where she aided the victim of a dog bite. Officer Loshelder works with Pets for Vets. It's a nonprofit organization which provides veterans suffering from PTSD a pet companion who helps ease the anxiety and aids as a therapy dog. It's beautiful. Officer Loshelder has spent considerable time also assisting and mentoring new officers coming in. That's a theme today, I guess. She's a role model of behavior, the kind of behavior and attitude that exemplifies professionalism, civility, accountability, and pride. She has received a life-saving award for helping to rescue a suicidal male from an overpass. We just heard about that. And she also performed CPR to an overdose victim, saving his life. Yep, you heard it right. She has 2 life-saving incidents in 1 year. For her outstanding effort, Nicole Loshelder is the Police Officer of the Year.
Thank you very much. I'm Jeffrey Katz. I am Nicole Loshelder's chief, very proud chief. And I want to thank you for honoring her today. She was not able to join us, but on behalf of Officer Loshelder and her 213 brothers and sisters of the Boynton Beach Police Department, I want to thank you very much for this award. I'm sure she will display it proudly for the remainder of her career. Thank you.
It's Deputy of the Year, right? For the category of Corrections Deputy of the Year, the nominees are from the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, Deputies Melissa Haber, Danny Dean, David Pintos. It's okay, shout on out, no worries. And from the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Danetta Johnson. Applause for both the nominees, all of the nominees. And the honoree for the category of Corrections Deputy of the Year is Deputy Sheriff Danny Dean from the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. Deputy Dean has been an employee of the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office since 2014. Prior to his employment with PBSO, he was a deputy sheriff for Brevard County Sheriff's Office. Since Deputy Dean has been with PBSO, he has exemplified what it means to be a corrections deputy. He is always willing to assist his teammates and takes the initiative to perform beyond his normal duties. Deputy Dean is well respected by his peers for the drive he displays in maintaining a positive attitude in a very difficult environment. Deputy Dean has a history of good decision-making by analyzing the variables within a situation to affect the best outcome. Most notably, Deputy Dean saved an inmate's life. On November 18, 2016, Deputy Dean responded to a medical emergency with an inmate at the main detention center. Upon arrival, Deputy Dean saw an inmate lying lifeless and purple on the floor of the dorm. Deputy Dean shook the inmate in an attempt to get response. He then checked for a pulse, and there was none. Deputy Dean started CPR by performing chest compressions, while the contracted medical staff delivered oxygen to the inmate. The inmate began to make some gurgling sounds as he slowly regained color to his body but still had no pulse. Deputy Dean poured with sweat as he delivered 3 cycles of chest compressions on this inmate, totaling almost 100 compressions. Deputy Dean's quick actions, knowledge, and selflessness, fueled by his commitment to saving a life of another human being, really fueled his commitment to save another person's life. The inmate was saved and went on to make a full recovery. Danny Dean of the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office is the Corrections Officer of the Year.
Thank you. I'm very honored. Just like everybody else, it was a surprise, very much a surprise. But thank you for making me a nominee, and also for our instructors for every year, all around, just hammering in us to make sure we stay on top of our training and stuff like that. And just like everybody else said, I was just doing my job. And every time I see that inmate, he was like, my chest still hurts, It's been a month, my chest is still hurting. Well, at least you ain't got no broken ribs, so. But thanks again, thank you.
That's great. All right, for the category of Task Force or Unit Award, the nominees are from the Boca Raton Police Department, Sergeants Joseph Smith, Douglas Imler, Officers Dean Caviello, Jacob Campbell, Michael Bremser, Erica Wassenberg, Brian McInnes, Eric Rogers, Matthew Finn, Brian Della Rua. From the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, Sergeants Brandon West, Craig Knowles-Hiller, Bert Goudreau, Detectives Timothy Barbucio, Mike Donovan, Stephanie Holzenbach, Harold Harper, Matt Carrero, Deputies Alex Thompson, Conrad Stewart, Ryan Gillis, Levante Chasteen, Corporal Napoleon Neely, Deputies Mark Kramer, Demetrius Owens, Javencia Rivera, Chad Shane, Shamarcus Bryant, Majors Alfonso Starling, Frank Milo, Lieutenant Patrice Quinn, Sergeants Michael Altamari, Regina Castro, John Whelan, Inspectors Teresa Edwards, Ann Uhas, Procedural Officer Mary Wright, Jail Investigators Melissa Haber, Mario Rodriguez, Detectives Rafael Bajarano, Jose Carrero, Steven Santos, Tarina Shahid, Corporal Natasha Mitchell. Deputies Reginald Bush, William Feeman, Corey Herzog, Lavin Price, Edward Quinn, Brian Randall, and Senior Analyst Denise Ellis. Is it just me or is that the whole room? Whew. A round of applause for all the nominees. The honoree for the category of Task Force Unit Award is District 13 Street Crimes Unit Sergeant Bert Goudreau, Deputies Mark Kramer, Demetrius Owen, Javencia Rivera, Chad Shane. The District 13 Street Crimes Unit mission is to focus on violent crimes, narcotic sales, weapon possession and recovery, and fugitive warrants in the city of Belle Glade. They focus their efforts on recovering deadly weapons from the streets of Belle Glade. In under a year, this team has recovered 4 rifles to include 3 stolen AK-47s and 1 AR-15 that was involved in a double homicide. They also recovered 22 handguns that were stolen or used in crimes throughout the Western region. 19 of these guns taken off the streets were accompanied by a felony arrest of either a known identified gang member or a convicted felon. Good work. The District 13 Street Crimes Unit serves the felony fugitive warrants for the Western region. The team's responsible for 131 people being arrested throughout all districts in the Western region. The District 13 Crimes Unit personnel have received numerous commendation letters and certificates throughout the year. The team individually and combined has received 21 letters of commendation. Members have received Law Enforcement Deputy of the Month for the agency 4 times and Law Enforcement Deputy of the Month for the district 6 times. One member of the team received Deputy of the Year for the Western region, and the unit received last year's Unit Commendation for the agency. The District 13 Street Crimes Unit started and completed 7 operation plans for events that occur annually throughout the city of Belle Glade. These events take careful planning, scheduling of personnel from inside and outside their district, meetings with other agencies and political figures from the district, scheduling of equipment from other districts, and the leadership and ability just to run the operation. Along with all of the above operations and services I've just mentioned, the District 13 Street Crimes Unit added the following list of impressive results. Felony arrests, 115. Misdemeanor arrests, 122. Search warrants, 8. Field interview reports, 175. Those take a long time to do, right? Weapons seized, 26. The District 13 Street Crimes Unit has worked diligently for the Western region. For their outstanding effort, the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office District 13 Street Crimes Unit is the Unit Award Honoree of the Year. The District 13 Street Crimes Unit personnel are Sergeant Bert Gaudreau, Deputy Mark Kramer, Deputy Demetrius Owens, Deputy Javincio Rivera, and Deputy Chad Shane.
Thank you.
That was fast. Well, we thank you. He didn't give me a chance to drink. All right, for the category of K-9 achievement. The Leo Committee, in honor of K-9 Officer Joseph Crowder of the Boynton Beach Police Department, will name this year's award the Joseph Crowder K-9 Award. As we watch this clip, I want to walk you through, actually, we're going to watch the clip, lower the music, and I want to read something as the video plays here. Officer Crowder protected the citizens of Boynton Beach. He mentored youth, he trained new officers, and he provided countless hours of K-9 demonstrations with his K-9 partners Dax and Eero. Using his unique abilities and training, Officer Crowder connected with his community, building a lifelong, lasting impression on the many people he served. There are countless examples of these interactions and the impact they have had on the Boynton Beach community. Boynton Beach is a better place for Officer Crowder's service. Many lives have been enriched by his work and his example in life. Officer Crowder's civility, accountability, and pride shine in all of his endeavors. A few examples of his contributions to the community. You're looking at many of them right now. Officer Crowder responded to a robbery homicide at Pence Park. Officer Crowder paired with other K-9 teams and located a track. The track led to actionable intelligence. Officer Crowder developed that intelligence with other officers and identified a suspect in that case. The homicide suspects were subsequently apprehended. Officer Crowder responded to a disturbance where his arrival stopped the suspect from continuing to assault the victim. Officer Crowder's investigation resulted in the arrest of the offender for felony battery. It is unquestioned that the offender would have caused great bodily harm or death to that victim without Officer Crowder's intervention that day. Officer Crowder located in another case a suspect in a stolen vehicle. The vehicle stopped and the driver and 3 occupants fled. Officer Crowder engaged a suspect in foot pursuit, resulting in an apprehension that day. It was determined that at least one of the other suspects was armed with a handgun in that case. A perimeter was established and additional canine teams deployed. An additional suspect was located and a stolen handgun recovered. I'm pausing for a moment because I believe this piece ends beautifully, and I wanted to experience that. Continuing on. Boynton Beach Police produced that beautiful video you just watched, and they wrote this that I've been reading to you. I'll just wrap it up at the very end here. Officer Crowder responded in one case to a medical emergency. Upon Officer Crowder's arrival, the reporting party was conducting CPR. Officer Crowder applied life-saving measures. The Boynton Beach Fire Department transported the patient in this case to Bethesda Hospital, where the patient did recover. Officer Crowder volunteered for the Citizens Police Academy as well. Canine training demonstrations and elementary school demonstrations, he was first in line. Every time providing invaluable first impressions to our youngest of citizens. Officer Crowder made those crucial connections with students as a really positive role model, which is so crucial. Officer Crowder continued his servant leadership by giving back to his country as a staff sergeant in the United States Army Reserve. Officer Staff Sergeant Crowder deployed in 2016 in support of the defense of our great nation. In 2016, Officer Crowder recommended and requested that his beloved canine partner Dax be retired. Listen to this. Dax had sustained injuries that left him vulnerable to catastrophic injury or possibly death. Although it was possible for Dax to continue service, Officer Crowder recommended Dax's retirement with the knowledge that he might not be assigned another canine partner. Officer Crowder requested the retirement because it was the right thing to do for his canine partner. Officer Crowder stated this, quote, "Sir, I cannot in good conscience keep him in service knowing that he could suffer debilitating injuries or death. He is my partner." Dax remained a part of his family in retirement. Officer Crowder's accomplishments are well documented, along with his overwhelming contributions to the community. He did these things with a smile on his face and respect for everyone he encountered. His untimely passing revealed an even deeper connection to the community. Thousands of public comments made to the department after his passing showed that he was universally admired and respected for his fairness, service, and professionalism. Officer Crowder was only 44 years old, and he is a father of 2 young boys. For his many accomplishments and lasting legacy as a top canine officer, we are prepared now to present the Joseph Crowder Canine Achievement Award, but one more round of applause for Joseph Crowder. The nominees for the Joseph Crowder Canine Achievement Award this year are, from the Boynton Beach Police Department, posthumously submitted, Officer Joseph Crowder. From the Palm Beach Gardens Police Department, Officer Richard Pierce. And from the Port St. Lucie Police Department, Officer Michael Colton. A round of applause. The honoree for the category of the Joseph Crowder Canine Achievement Award is Officer Michael Colton of the Port St. Lucie Police Department. To help present this year's award on behalf of Officer Crowder's family is Captain Paul Deal of the Boynton Beach Police Department. Please come forward. Let me tell you about Officer Michael Colton. He began his law enforcement career in 1987 as a deputy with the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office. Currently, K-9 Officer Colton is the Master Training Officer for the Port St. Lucie Police Department and hosts weekly training seminars for numerous law enforcement agencies surrounding the Port St. Lucie area. He also handles an active police service dog, Danny. He and Danny are assigned to the night shift at the Port St. Lucie Police Department. They're responsible for numerous apprehensions and successful investigations together. There are so many successful assists K-9 Officer Colton and Danny have had over the years. Officer Colton's achievements include, during Officer Colton's Leo career, he's handled 4 police service dogs, Cello, Vasco, Pino, and currently Dan. Sadly, K-9 police dog Vasco was shot and killed in the line of duty, protecting the lives of police officers and K-9 Officer Colton in 2004. Officer Colton and Vasco had 91 criminal apprehensions prior to his falling. Collectively, K-9 Officer Michael Colton and his 4 partners are responsible for over 300 criminal apprehensions. That is not mentioning countless illegal narcotics fines and non-criminal apprehensions. Officer Colton is a renowned K-9 trainer. He has facilitated over 4,000 hours at FDLE K-9 academies for personnel of the Port St. Lucie Police Department, Stewart Police Department, and the Fort Pierce Police Department. He's helped them all. Each police service dog is to receive 400 FDLE training hours, and Officer Colton has trained over 10 police service dogs during his tenure as a master K-9 trainer. Officer Colton is a published author, in your spare time, whose writings on canine behavior and interspecies communication appear in several magazines, including Police Canine Magazine. In fact, at one point, Officer Colton was a staff writer for Canine Magazine. He was also a keynote speaker for the same topic on numerous events for the North American Police Work Dog Association and HITS, Handler, Instructor, and Training Seminar. Officer Colton has traveled to several states here in the United States to improve canine units and training programs for other folks. He's also traveled to Brazil to train canine handlers and police service dogs in order to enhance the development and implementation of canine units internationally. Officer Michael Colton is the inaugural honoree of the Joseph Crowder Canine Achievement Award.
On behalf of Officer Crowder's family, a fellow brother, officer, father, honor guard member, on behalf of Chief Katz and the rest of the Boynton Beach Police Department, it's my honor and privilege to give you this Joseph Crowder Canine Achievement Award.
Keep this kind of brief because I don't think I'll have a choice. No greater honor to receive an award, the Joseph Crowder Canine Award. It's amazing. Too many people, too many dogs to thank through the years. People that know me know that I can be long-winded. I promise you I won't be. Sergeant B, thank you for the nomination. Unfortunately, my command staff had to leave a little early, but Chief Bulldog, thank you for your confidence. Hopefully you see or hear this, but thank you for your confidence and your support. Sheriff Mascara, who's I think still back here from my former life as a deputy sheriff, thank you. And my wife for the middle of the night knocks on the doors and phone calls and some of the things I put her through the years. Thank you.
Next category, above and beyond the call of duty. And the nominees for the category of above and beyond the call of duty are, from the Boca Raton Police Department, crime analyst Tiffany Brady. From the Boynton Beach Police Department, Officer Nicole Loshelder. From the Juneau Beach Police Department, Sergeant Stephen Smith and Major Paul Fertig. From the Martin County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Anthony Dallum. From the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, volunteer Kenneth Green. From the Riviera Beach Police Department, officers Cornelius McGrigg and Brian DeSantis. And from the West Palm Beach Police Department, Officer Augusto Chavez. A round of applause for our nominees. And the honoree for the category of Above and Beyond the Call of Duty is Major Paul Fertig and Sergeant Stephen Smith of the Juno Beach Police Department. As Major Fertig makes his way to the stage, as both make their way to the stage, let's roll this quick clip, if you will, Dean.
There's a lot that sets Juno Beach apart.
Well, it's a little different, I suppose, than some of the larger communities.
It provides a unique opportunity for Major Paul Fertig and Sergeant Steve Smith.
We have an opportunity to really reach out to some of our residents here.
Reaching out and reaching up. Their story begins with a bond they formed with a woman 6 years ago, a woman who needed help.
She had many challenges, personal challenges. She was alone. She was abandoned by her family, friends, neighbors, and she had nobody to turn to.
She had no water, no food, and on top of that,
this woman was just days away from foreclosure.
That's when the two jumped in, arranged meal deliveries, and bought her groceries with their own money. This year, they also stepped up to become the woman's advocate in court.
We were able to get Palm Beach County courts involved and testify on her behalf and actually stay the foreclosure.
The home was listed and sold, and the money helped the woman get back on her feet.
It's just a very good, positive thing.
These officers with a big-hearted gesture in their small community, a textbook example of above and beyond. But if you ask them, they were just doing their job.
A lot of times it's not seen every day, but it's a pleasure to serve and be part of the community.
We can round of applause again. That was the quick Clip Notes version, but I have a little bit more meat to add to the bones if you allow me just a few. The members of the Juno Beach Police Department pride themselves on having strong ties to the Juno Beach community, always going above and beyond the call of duty to help someone in need. Major Paul Fertig and Sergeant Stephen Smith did that by being the voice for someone whose mental and psychological illness prevented her from speaking for herself. Over the past 8 years, Sergeant Smith and Major Fertig developed a rapport with the resident in Juno Beach you just heard about. She suffered from radical changes in personality, impaired functioning, and delusional episodes. After earning her trust, they were able to observe her living conditions, which were deplorable. They also discovered that she had no food and no running water, and her electric was going to be shut off in just a couple of days. Major Fertig and Sergeant Smith purchased public gift cards with their own money, as we mentioned in the piece. They also arranged for local churches and Meals on Wheels to deliver hot meals to this resident's home on a regular basis. Major Fertig and Sergeant Smith learned that the resident only had enough funds to sustain her for several months, and they discovered that her home was in the final phase of foreclosure, as the clip mentioned, which put her at risk of losing $375,000. It was really all she had in home equity. Sergeant Smith testified at 3 hearings, 2 of which were on his off time, and pleaded with the judge to stay her foreclosure and assigned a temporary guardian for her. Due to their involvement, just 3 days away, 3 days from final judgment, the foreclosure hearing was rescheduled and the judge appointed a guardian. The home was listed for sale, sold in 2 weeks, netting the resident $365,000. The proceeds will assist her, of course, with her long-term living expenses now, thanks to the persistence and dedication of these 2 officers. This resident is in the care of an assisted living community now, having all of her needs addressed. Major Paul Fertig and Sergeant Steve Smith of the Juno Beach Police Department are this year's Above and Beyond honorees.
First and foremost, I'd like to thank ACES, the committee, and all the sponsors for putting this all together. Truly an outstanding and amazing event. This is a team effort. Everyone in the police department was involved in one way or another. If it wasn't for the support of the police chief and the town council, this could have never been done. A lot of resources and time went into this, so I'm very proud to serve at Juno Beach Police Department.
And I want to thank you all. You all do an outstanding job. We're all in this together, and thank you.
I just want to say I agree. Thank you.
Two more categories. Is that right? Two more categories, right? Okay. So the next category is Valor. And the nominees are from the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, Agent John Tatum. From the Palm Beach Police Department, Officer David Watson. From the Jupiter Police Department, Officers James Albano, Jeffrey Bernstein, Nicholas Brandt, Russell Counts, and Matt Owen. A round of applause for all of the nominees. For the category of Valor this year, we have co-honorees. First, from the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, Agent John Tatum. Also, from the Jupiter Police Department, Officers James Albano, Jeffrey Bernstein, Nicholas Brandt, Russell Counts, and Matt Owen. Please come forward. My director just talked in my ear and got to regroup here. Sorry. Okay. The first honoree is Agent John Tatum of the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. On November 4th, 2016, agents of the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office made positive identification of a wanted subject for an outstanding felony arrest warrant related to robbery with a firearm and aggravated battery with a firearm. Agents had formulated a plan for the apprehension of the suspect, who had arrived at this location as a passenger in a vehicle. When the suspect exited the club and entered his vehicle, Agent Tatum, along with Agent Bell, Agent Zuccaro, and Agent Jenkins, attempted to contain the vehicle in the parking lot. The suspect and his accomplice rammed the vehicle containing Agent Tatum and Agent Bell. Based on new violent felony crime and the fact that the suspect was a violent offender who posed an immediate risk to the community, a pursuit was authorized. The pursuit was brief and came to a conclusion at the dead end of Park Avenue W. The vehicle launched into a catchment pond, and the occupants attempted to flee apprehension by swimming away from agents and deputies on the scene. What did they do? They helped them. Both the wanted suspect and the vehicle operator were both in the water, and at some point during their attempts to flee, they began to struggle in the water. Without regard for their own personal safety, deputies and agents entered the dark, cold water, attempting to rescue both subjects. The water had an approximate depth of 12 to 15 feet or greater, depending on the location in the pond. Agent Tatum is a certified waterborne maritime tactical operator. He swam out and he was able to make contact with one of the suspects who was struggling in the water and now asking for his help. What a turn of events. Agent Tatum recognized the need to transition to rescue swimming and was at times immersed and treading water on his route to get to the suspect. Agent Tatum successfully rescued this suspect, bringing him in and handing him off to agents and deputies in the shallow area of the pond. Agent Tatum then went back out into the deeper part of the catchment pond in an attempt to locate the second suspect, who sadly was no longer visible on the surface. Agent Tatum was submerged for extensive periods while attempting to locate the second suspect. He continued his efforts until he was relieved by the divers from fire rescue, who subsequently located the suspect at an unknown depth in the water and transported him to the hospital. He was pronounced deceased. Agent John Tatum exemplifies the traits required to be an agent in the Violent Crimes Division. Through his experience and dedication to his duties, he was able to save an individual who, just moments prior, had attempted to cause him harm. His performance was beyond exemplary and heroic for sure. Agent John Tatum is the co-honoree of this year's Award for Valor.
I guess like everybody else, really wasn't expecting this, so I wanted to say thank you. Extremely honored to receive this, especially considering the group that I'm amongst.
So at least I get to the thank yous. Thank you to my sergeant, Byron Smith. Thank you to the ACES committee and everybody else that's involved with us to put this together. We really appreciate you guys putting this together for us. Thank you to PGA National. Thank you to my great PBSO command staff. And last but not least, she'll kill me if I don't mention her. My wife. Without you, I couldn't do what I do. You're a phenomenal wife, phenomenal mother. Thank you.
I love surprises. We have one last surprise today. The gentleman from Jupiter, they don't even know it, but your victim is here today. Gina Milner is going to be part of this story, and we snuck her in here to personally thank the officers from Jupiter. So I'm going to let Shannon do the description for you.
On September 14th, 2016, Jupiter police officers James Albano, Jeffrey Bernstein, Russell Counts, Nicholas Brandt, and Matthew Owen responded to Maplewood Drive in Jupiter regarding a vehicle in a canal. Upon the officers' arrival, they observed an unconscious female who was still inside that vehicle. These officers immediately jumped into the canal without regard for their own safety. They broke the vehicle's window. That was perfect timing. It sounded something like that. We could not have planned that better. My goodness. Nicole, somebody needs to be hired at Channel 5 to roll the clips. Whoever did that. Okay, so they broke the window immediately. These officers were able to keep the victim's head above water as they tried to pull her out of this submerging vehicle and safely bring her to land. The victim was transported to the hospital for treatment. Due to their excellent teamwork and communication throughout this entire incident, they were instrumental in saving this woman's life. And the victim, standing here today, as you can see, made a full recovery. Their effort did not focus on their own personal safety and represented true heroism in the face of danger. For their actions, Officer Albano, Bernstein, Brandt, Counts, and Owen are co-honorees of this year's Award for Valor.
Very short, very sweet. Thank you very much. It was unexpected to see you here today. Like everybody says, team effort. Thank you all for the honor, and we're humbled. Thank you.
This is our final award this afternoon. Final award today is the Chairman's Award. And this award is given by the Leo Committee and is indicative of outstanding service and community involvement while maintaining the highest professional standards in the law enforcement profession. Ladies and gentlemen, the recipient of this year's Chairman's Award is Communications Supervisor Heidi Grobe from the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. Heidi Grobe has been serving for 25 years now, and for 16 of those years as supervisor with the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office Communication Division. Supervisor Grobe has the leadership skills coveted by many agencies throughout our country. Supervisor Grobe's professionalism, passion, knowledge, and patience when dealing with the public, and the press probably, but probably the public, and or agency personnel in one of the highest stress level jobs in law enforcement is extraordinary. When calls for service are coming in faster than the call takers can type, she will start assisting by taking calls for 911 and dispatch the necessary personnel to the scene. Supervisor Grobe is not an it's your job type of leader. She takes serving the public very seriously and does so with a servant's heart. Supervisor Grobe is still serving her agency and the communities the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office serves while waiting. Are you ready for this? She's waiting for a kidney transplant. Really? Yes. Ah, that's even better. The story gets better. Okay, I'll let her tell you. All right. Well, she was serving while she was waiting for a kidney transplant. Despite her serious medical concerns, she serves with extraordinary dedication to others. Supervisor Grobe has been working with her shifts with professionalism, even though her body was reaching for a rest. She is one of the most dedicated employees of the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, and it is said by many that it is a privilege to work by her side daily. For her extensive contributions to the deputies and citizens of Palm Beach County, despite her medical battles, Heidi Grobe is this year's Chairman's Award honoree.
I wasn't expecting to do this after standing up the first time. I got a text from her this morning that said, I would like people to know that officer safety is the most important task I focus on day in and day out, from the time the call is received, to the call being dispatched, to units arriving, to units clearing the call safely. She's at home. She's out of work for 6 more weeks. I came back to work, and I don't, what else?
Before you go, I don't know if everybody heard, but you mentioned off to the right, she received a kidney.
From me.
From you.
Right.
So good. So good.
Thank you. I'll run that from Bert. Thank you.
That wraps up the presentations, ladies and gentlemen. One more round of applause, please, for all the nominees and honorees today.
Hold on, guys. Sit down for a second, real quick. I promise. Chief Kitsero, Chief Jenkins, could you please come up? We have one final presentation.
On behalf of the Palm Beach County Chiefs Association, it's my honor to introduce Frank Kitsero, the association's lead on this very important private-public partnership. Frank?
Thank you, Chief Jenkins. Thank you very much. You know, for years we hear Shannon giving out awards to everybody for everything. This is our opportunity to give Shannon an award this year. And it's a small token of our appreciation for everything that you do for us. But to Shannon Cake, in recognition of your faithful support of the Palm Beach County Association of Chiefs of Police and the public-private partners representing every community in Palm Beach County. Thank you very much. I waited a long time to do this. Shannon, do you want to say a few words?
I think they've heard from me enough. Thank you so much. It is a true honor to be here with you today. I told my kids today I'm going to the safest place in the country today. It's an honor to be here year after year. Thank you again for everything you do.
Chaplain Tolby, you're on. Benediction, folks, and then we'll call it a day.
Let's bow for a short prayer. Thank you. Lord, we thank you for just an outstanding event today. The honors, the inspiring, heartfelt stories, the awards, the recognitions, the fellowship, friendship. We ask you to bless those who worked so diligently to make this event successful. Pray a special blessing on our friend Frank Good, the ASIS leadership team. And we ask you, God, as our great protector, to keep us safe. Keep our nation safe. Send each one of us out today with a new vision for the future, the courage to stick to our convictions, and the opportunities to influence our world for good. We ask all these things in your precious name. Amen.
congratulations again to all the nominees and honorees. Thank you all very much for coming. Thanks to PGA. And as they said in the old TV show, let's be careful out there, guys. See you next year.